Good evening, everybody. It's John Zavodny, Maine Seacoast Mission President. I'm all smiles here behind the mask. Actually, let me take this off for a minute so I can talk with you. As you know, the masks have become the new normal. Some of what we're shooting today, we've shot pre-COVID, some we shot post-COVID, so there's going to be a real variety. But let me reassure you that everything was shot either using social distancing, with masks. It's all COVID-approved activity. So I'm coming to you today from the Bar Harbor Colquette Center, the traditional Colquette Center, 127 West Street. We've got folks coming to you tonight from Cherryfield, from Belfast, really all over the map. And that's one of the themes for tonight. The theme is the mission map and all the work that we do around in our various communities. The other theme for the evening, and what I hope you experience, is a real celebration of community. We're going to be celebrating community all evening, celebrating community partners, the work that the Maine Seacoast Mission does, both in times of COVID and in more normal times. So welcome. We're so glad you joined us. We're so grateful to have you here. So while things may look different during this COVID-19 period, the heart of the mission remains the same, and our work really remains the same. We continue to educate youth, we continue to strengthen families, and we continue to do community building in all the communities, whether they're on the island, on the coast, or inland. But the Maine Seacoast Mission doesn't do this work alone. Every day, the Maine Seacoast Mission partners to do our important work with corporations, with other nonprofits, with foundations, and with individuals, with people like you. So we're here tonight to celebrate, to congratulate, and to honor the work of the Maine Seacoast Mission, the work in our communities, and especially the support that you give us. You know, lately we find ourselves using the phrase, "this is what community looks like," an awful lot when we show our gratitude, when we celebrate a particular project. And tonight, I can't think of a better phrase to use to celebrate the work that you do. You are what community looks like. Tonight I'm going to invite you to join me on a tour of the Maine Seacoast Mission. We're going to go to Cherryfield and we're going to visit Isaac and Wendy and the programs that go on there. We're going to go to Belfast and we're going to see the Sunbeam as she comes out of her refit process and begins to enter the water. And we're going to spend some time here on MDI looking at our new headquarters. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the little tour around the Maine Seacoast Mission. Before we get into our tour, I want to make sure to thank our sponsors.
The platinum sponsors for Mission Together are Bar Harbor Bank and Trust and Wyman's. First National Bank is our gold sponsor. Silver sponsors are Cross Insurance and Goldman Sachs and Maggie Cohan. Bronze sponsors are Billings Diesel and Marine, Coastal Kayaking Tours, Eaton Peabody, JT Rossborough, and Verrill. Copper sponsors are Brookings Smith, Deegan, Front Street Shipyard, Machias Savings Bank, the Snowman Group, and Whipfley.
We are so grateful to all of our sponsors. Thank you. We also have enormous mission gratitude for our benefactors. You are all listed in our program. Before we get out on our tour, I want to ask Douglas to say a few marks of reflection as we enter the spirit of the evening.
Good evening. It's wonderful that you're able to join us this evening. Chris and John asked me to lead us in prayer, so I invite you all now to join me. Incomprehensible God, source of all life, love, strength, and grace, a God of never-ending tides, of enduring coastlines, of bursting blueberry barrens and life-sustaining summer harvests. We gather this day, though we are a scattered people, each in our own place, to honor you and to honor the work of your hands. We ask you into our presence. We welcome your Spirit to unite us as one common people, a mission called by you to serve in community, each in our own unique and particular ways, Like a body with many members, each serving its own function, you bring us together so that in communion and fellowship we find opportunities to build relationships and make commitments with and to those who depend on us and to those on whom we depend, to the whole of your creation, your planet, and your people, and most especially to you, to whom we owe our very existence. Our world is full of surprises. Some challenge us to the very depths of our being. They take us to a place where we feel we have nothing left to give. And some restore our faith and energize us to heights of beauty, caring, creativity, and ingenuity that astonish our minds. This year has surprised us with COVID-19, a pandemic of proportions no one could have imagined. With racial tension, with inexcusable loss of life, political and economic uncertainty, and a future whose path remains yet shrouded and unclear. We have been equally surprised by the power of love in both large and small proportions, by peaceful gatherings of those ready for equity, by a tiny house built by hands ready to shelter one who needs a home, by the dedication of healthcare workers, grocery store clerks, and countless others who risk their safety for our benefit, and by a hardy and beloved boat who has been so lovingly tended and who is eager to return to the sea. Open our bodies, our minds, and our spirit, O God, that we may feel your presence and find the courage and strength within ourselves to face into the next surprise with grace, generosity, and gratitude. May we be blessed with the wisdom to learn from our past, to live in the present, and to prepare as best we can for whatever the future holds. Guide our thoughts away from our own needs and to the needs of others. Transform our love into action so that we may turn from what is evil and cling to what is good. We ask your blessing on those whose hands prepared this evening's festivities so that we can be free of labor to celebrate you and the work of your mission. We bring all the cares of our hearts and minds to you and humbly ask them in your precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Douglas. Now let's get started. Let's go on our tour. We're going to begin today with Northeast Harbor, and Dan McKay, the chair of the board, is going to give us a little tour of the new space, the new Colquette Center there right in Northeast Harbor. Dan.
I'm Dan McKay, board chair of the Maine Seacoast Mission. I want to join in welcoming you to this very special 2020 Mission Together virtual event. I want to particularly thank all of you for your financial support to the Seacoast Mission during this challenging time. Your support of the mission through these past months is greatly appreciated, and we do appreciate each and every gift. You've just heard from John Zavodny and Douglas Corman, who spoke to you from our current headquarters at 127 West Street in Bar Harbor. That has served as the home of the Maine Seacoast Mission for almost a half century. But as many of you probably know, in 2018, the Maine Seacoast Board of Directors made the difficult decision to sell that building in order to redeploy our assets to more directly support our ongoing charitable activities in the islands and Downeast Maine. Pursuant to that strategy, the building was sold to the Bar Harbor Historical Society, which is currently converting the space to museum use. We are so grateful that the building will, under the ownership of the Historical Society, will maintain its historical integrity and also its special place within the town of Bar Harbor. In the meantime, the Maine Seacoast Mission is moving. I'm standing here in the village of Northeast Harbor, up the hill from the Northeast Harbor Marina. Right behind me here, the new headquarters of the Maine Seacoast Mission is under construction. The building is being built by Mount Desert 365. Mount Desert 365 is a local nonprofit that's dedicated to promoting the year-round economic sustainability of the town of Mount Desert. We're so happy to be collaborating with them in this new venture. The Mission will occupy the entire first floor of the building under a long-term lease, and will also have some shared space on the second floor. As we move here and leave the property on West Street in Bar Harbor, we're acutely aware of the role that the Colquitt family has played in the history of our organization. It was the Colquitt family that made the original gift of the building at 127 West Street to the Mission in 1972. And they have been steadfast supporters of the Mission and its support of Downeast communities in the intervening decades. Tonight, we'd like to express our particular condolences to that family on the recent passing of Tris Colquitt. He will be truly missed. We are so grateful to this special family, and we want to recognize our gratitude as we rename our new facility as the new Colquitt Center. Now, I'd like to take you inside for a quick look. Come on inside. I'm now standing in the reception area of the Mission headquarters. This area will be accessed through a set of doors that lead from the portico on the harbor side of the building. Most of our Mission employees are still working remotely due to the pandemic, but once we're back to normal operations, all MDI-based employees will be housed here in this building. To my right is a small conference room, and you'll note over the entry to the conference room there is an etched glass that says Maine Seacoast Mission Colquitt Center. Some of you may recognize that as having previously been over the doorway in the front entrance hall in Bar Harbor on the seaside leading out to the terrace. It's one of a number of keepsakes from the old building that we are bringing with us from Bar Harbor to our new headquarters to incorporate in our new building here in Northeast Harbor. We're now going to move from the reception area next to the small conference room down this hallway to the room that will house the Mission's telemedicine center. This room will house the telemedicine equipment that helps link island patients with their physicians on the mainland. We're looking forward to having them and the Sunbeam be located literally just a stone's throw down the hill, and we think that will facilitate a tighter integration of our island services programs with the other programs of the Mission. Now we're going to head back across the reception area to the other side of the building to take a look at the Mission staff offices on the other side of the building. Down this hallway, which is where the Mission staff offices will be located, we'll head all the way to the end of the hall and take a look at the President's office. Here we are in John Zavodny's new office, which is on the harbor side of the building and has a nice view out over the harbor and the marina. When the Sunbeam is here in port, she will be berthed right down over the hill. The view is obscured during the summertime by tree leaves, but in the other seasons of the years, when the leaves are off the trees, John will actually be able to look right out his window and look right over the Sunbeam when she's here in port. Now we're going to head back up the hall and go upstairs and take a look at our shared space on the second floor. We're going to head back down the hallway. Now we're going to head upstairs. We're now in the second floor boardroom, which, as you can see, is a spacious room surrounded by windows overlooking the harbor. This is where, once we start having in-person board meetings again, our meetings will be held. Our plan is to bring our boardroom furniture from the old property on West Street in Bar Harbor and utilize it again here. We also will have installed state-of-the-art video conferencing equipment. Video conferencing, even before the pandemic, video conferencing was becoming an increasingly important part of our communication strategy internally as we tried to bridge the geographic divide of our board membership, who at various times of the year reside everywhere from Maine to Hawaii. We think that going forward, even once the pandemic is over, we'll continue to probably use video conferencing equipment as part of our integral strategy for both internal and external communications. Just outside the boardroom are some kitchen facilities that once again we will be sharing with Mount Desert 365. The remainder of the second floor is occupied by their offices and by a couple of residential apartment units. Now, before we go downstairs and exit the building, let's take one last look out these windows which overlook Northeast Harbor. I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of our new home here in Northeast Harbor, and we look forward to welcoming you here once we move in later this fall and once any pandemic-related restrictions have been lifted. In the meantime, I hope you will stay safe and help our communities to also stay safe by masking up. And now I'm going to send you to our Cherryfield campus, where you'll be hosted by Bob Mancini, who's a Mission board member and also the CFO of Wyman's Wild Blueberries. Wyman's is a principal sponsor of this event and also has been a longtime supporter of the Mission.
Hi, my name is Bob Mancini. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Wyman's. We're here today in Du Bois. As you can see behind me, we have thousands of acres of wild blueberry fields supporting our community with an essential food service. We have been in business for over 100 years. We are family owned, fifth generation at this point, and we have been partnering with the Mission for 15 plus years now. This year we are a platinum sponsor, and we can't think of anything that we are prouder to be supporting as a company. It's a pleasure to be partnering with the Mission. I am so proud of the fact that the Maine Seacoast Mission has been a wonderful support mechanism here in Washington County. As you know, Washington County is one of the poorest counties in Maine and in dire need of other support in terms of food, in terms of shelter, housing, and education. We have had a number of Wyman's employees who have had the benefit of attending the Downeast Campus when they were in dire need of help, when they were in dire need of education, and now they are gainfully employed here at Wyman's. It's such a joy to see these young people being sustainable and taking care of themselves when at some other point in their lives they needed a little bit of help just to get started. And the Mission has been there throughout, helping and guiding these young individuals. Up next, two short videos which are near and dear to my heart. One is regarding food safety, and the other is EDGE.
This is Tabitha and her two kids. They live in Cherryfield, Maine. Tabitha was furloughed at the beginning of the pandemic. Thankfully, she is able to provide a meal for herself and her children. So where does their food come from? Well, some of it comes from the Maine Seacoast Mission. We have partnered with local businesses, nonprofits, farmers, individuals, and foundations to bring vital needs to those who need them most. Every day, Scott Shaw, the Downeast Campus facilities manager, fires up his truck and hits the road. His mission? Gather food from various sources. This is Mike and Miriam. This is Mike and Miriam during COVID-19. They own Folklore Farm, and they always have the freshest produce. Today's harvest? Carrots. Scott will make tons of these trips to various places to fill his truck with food for the Mission Pantry. Back at the pantry, Community Resource Coordinator Megan Smith receives food orders for those in need. Each order is customized to meet the needs of individual family homes. Some households have one or two people, some have many more. After Megan processes the order, either over the phone or online, it gets handed off to Jenna, who fills the order. She collects various food items, toiletries, and other necessities from the Mission Pantry. Once the order is complete, the box waits for the family who needs it. Moments later, Tabitha and her two kids arrive in their car. Tabitha is able to safely get food and provide a nutritious meal for her family. This is a taste of how the Mission Food Pantry works for the local communities it serves. Our fantastic partners have kept families like Tabitha's fed, healthy, and happy, even during the most trying of times.
My name is Isaac Marnick. I'm the interim director of the EDGE program. Today we're here at EDGE summer camps on the Downeast Campus of the Maine Seacoast Mission. This summer of 2020 for EDGE summer camps, we followed the Maine CDC guidelines on how to run a safe summer camp. We set up multiple hand washing stations throughout the campus. Students are washing their hands more regularly and consistently throughout the day. And also along with that, staff are cleaning and sanitizing high-touch areas to make sure that we prevent the spread of germs. Obviously with COVID-19, we had to make some modifications to summer camps to have a safe summer. We weren't able to provide transportation to our families who we always have provided transportation for. We also had to limit some activities like the ropes course. Majority of the activities have remained the same. We've had the same great art activities, STEM activities, biking, and we've been able to utilize photography a lot this summer due to a grant that we received back in January. Photography has been great this summer and the kids have really enjoyed it. Luckily this summer we've had amazing donors that have donated above and beyond other years. We've been able to provide free books to students that they get to choose what books they have. We provide a lot of extra food for families to take home on a daily and weekly basis. We've also been able to provide science and activity kits for the students so they'll have activities to continue doing EDGE programming on their own in the month of August. And we wouldn't be able to do any of that without the great support of the donors. Multiple plans for how EDGE will look in the fall. We're going to make sure to follow all the guidelines at that point and make sure that we provide the best programming that we can to the students and families that we work with. Thank you for joining us in Cherryfield, and now we'll be off to Belfast to be joined by the Sunbeam crew. We'll be joined by Captain Mike and Sharon, who is the Director of Island Health Services.
We had a pretty exciting day today at Front Street Shipyard. The Sunbeam came out of the building.
It's so good to be on the Sunbeam again, to see all the progress that's been made. I think the boatyard's done really good work on the boat. It looks beautiful. Be able to have more people aboard. The galley is great. My room looks wonderful. So when the boat is ready and back in the water, we as a crew can't wait to get to the islands. We really miss seeing people and offering our services, but we obviously need to figure out when that's going to be safe for us to do. And as soon as it is safe, then we'll be back.
The Sunbeam refit project was a big project on its own. And then on top of that, there's a COVID situation intervened, and that slowed things down dramatically. It's been slow. There's been a lot of hard work by the yard crew. It's all coming together here. We're going to be taking delivery soon, probably at the end of August, and it's all going to be worth it. I have literally not been on the ocean since the Sunbeam has come into the shipyard. I've been so focused on the project that I've become an administrator and not a captain. And I'm ready to be a captain again. The Sunbeam's 25 years old, and to continue our service and dependable service to the islands, we needed to do the refit to keep the process going for another 25. The whole boat feels different now. With the sun streaming in the windows, it's just one step closer to to being back on the water. And another couple weeks, we're actually going to launch her. So things are getting exciting.
I never thought that I would love a boat quite as much as I love the Sunbeam. And for her to be back in the water and looking so beautiful and going out to the islands, I just can't wait to see that happen. I've had so many people tell me how much they miss seeing the Sunbeam in the harbor. A lot of people have said before even all of this happened that just seeing the Sunbeam in the harbor makes them feel safe and that everything is okay. And I think it will be a real sign of things being better and back to normal when we can do that. I'm so impressed that so many people care about the Sunbeam and what we do to make this refit of the boat possible, and I just thank them for that.
Any captain of any boat will tell you it's a great honor to oversee a comprehensive refit of his or her vessel. And I want to thank the donors that made this possible. It's been incredibly rewarding, incredibly satisfying, and we're going to see another 20 to 25 years of service to the islands. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening on the Sunbeam. Now we head to one of the mission's generous supporters, Bar Harbor Banking and Trust.
Hello, I'm Curtis Samard, President and CEO of Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. We've been headquartered here for more than 130 years, serving the residents of Downeast, Maine, with tremendous pride and a focus towards community. In fact, we believe so much in our home and our community, we have taken the name on the road and proudly fly our banner in 52 communities throughout northern New England. In our opinion, some have overlooked what the meaning of community really is about. To us, it's a genuine commitment in time and service and financial resources through all seasons, especially during those times of challenge such as we now face together. Each year, the bank commits the majority of its charitable resources to educational and workforce development initiatives that are so vital to the communities and the economies where we live and work. And we also provide paid time off to our employees to volunteer with their favorite charity. We have been proud to support the Seacoast mission over many years and view them as a significant partner given their vast array of programs involving deserving students and the general health of our region. At Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, we believe good things happen when we work together, and that's why we are proud to support the Seacoast mission, have supported them for many years, and applaud their tireless efforts. Now please allow me to introduce the next segment of our program, a musical performance. It's a song about community and how we all watch each other's backs through thick and thin.
Hello again, everybody. I'm here in Belfast at the Front Street Shipyard on the bow of this beloved Sunbeam, who's just about ready to go back in the water. We're joined tonight by a dear friend of mine, Sarah Trunzo. She is a singer-songwriter based half-time in Nashville, half-time here in Maine. She has a long history in Maine. She used to run a nonprofit that worked in food security. So Sarah has agreed to play one of her favorite songs for us tonight. I'm going to ask her to say a couple words about it. I think you're going to find it to be a very special song if you don't already know it.
Hello, everybody. As John said, my name is Sarah Trunzo. I'm happy to be joining you tonight for Mission Together to celebrate the work that you do and the communities that you serve. This evening, I'm playing a song called World of Wonder, which was written by one of my favorite artists and a mentor of mine named Daryl Scott. And actually, John is the person who introduced me to this artist many years ago. And he has some beautiful and moving songs. And this is, I think, a particularly good one for celebration and gratitude. I'm so grateful to you all for asking me to be here, and grateful to John for jumping in to play dobro on this tune. So while we play, you're going to have the opportunity to see some photos of Mission Pathways students sharing what they're thankful for. John and I are so thankful to be able to share this song with you tonight, and I'm grateful to be part of your celebration. So best of luck with a coming year of work and service, and thanks for having me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Many is the day I have squandered away, bending low neath the weight I was under. Many is the time I have spent on worried mind, while I'm living in a world of wonder. I have troubled my soul doing things I can't control, waiting my next foolish blunder. And though I try to tell myself it's in the hands of someone else, while I'm living in a world of wonder. Up above the darkened clouds, there's a light to be found. High above the lightning and the thunder. Oh Lord, hear my plea. Won't you help my eyes to see that we're living in a world of wonder. Well, I once had a friend, and he loved life to the end, and he never let his faith go asunder. And though he lost his earthly due, he could smile, say unto you, man, we're living in a world of wonder. Up above the darkened clouds, there's a light to be found. High above the lightning and the thunder. Oh Lord, hear my plea. Won't you help my eyes to see that we're living in a world of wonder. I am living in a world of wonder. We are living in a world of wonder. Thanks.
So thank you again. Thank you so much for joining us. Before you go, come back with us to the Zoom room. We're going to join a little after party. We're going to have a couple closing remarks, but only a couple. And then we're going to give you a chance to say hi and express your mission love to each other. So thank you. Join us in the Zoom room.